Dear friends, welcome to another episode in the fantastic military world. In this video, we will discuss Sweden's entry into NATO and the repercussions of this for Europe's security in the face of an increasingly aggressive Russia. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, be sure to subscribe now and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. On this Monday, February 26th, the Hungarian parliament approved, with 188 votes in favor and only 6 against, the ratification of Sweden's entry into NATO. According to the alliance's statutes, all members must give their approval for the entry of a new member, with Hungary, after Turkey's ratification, being the last country to favor the entry of the 32nd member of the alliance, less than a year after Finland's official entry on April 4, 2023. With Hungarian ratification, all that remains now is a purely bureaucratic step for Sweden's transformation into a full member of the alliance. Finland's and Sweden's entries came as a big surprise to the world, with both breaking long-standing traditions of neutrality and non-alignment. In Sweden's case, its policy of neutrality began during the terrible Napoleonic Wars in the early 19th century, wars that deeply affected Sweden, marking the decline of one of the largest European empires. In 1812, to prevent the country's involvement in future wars, Sweden adopted a policy of strict neutrality, a policy that remained firm even during the terrible Second World War. With practically the entire planet engulfed in war, Sweden, squeezed between Norway, invaded by Germany in 1940, and Finland, attacked by the Soviet Union in 1939, managed to remain neutral, acting as an important intermediary through which the Axis and the Allies could unofficially dialogue from time to time. During the Cold War, a highly polarizing period in Europe, Sweden also managed to remain non-aligned, always refusing to join NATO, despite its neighbor Norway being one of the founding members of the alliance. But despite this policy of neutrality and non-alignment surviving 2 world wars and the tense years of the Cold War, an event in February 2022 changed everything when Vladimir Putin's Russia invaded Ukraine. Until then, European countries believed that Russia would not dare to launch a large-scale war in Europe, believing that common sense would prevail, and that Putin would not risk losing the good economic relations he had with Europe. But the invasion of Ukraine showed that Europeans were mistaken, with Sweden and Finland concluding that if Putin had invaded Ukraine for the sole purpose of annexing territories and creating a vassal state there, he could do the same with them, leading to a profound change in Swedish and Finnish society, with Swedes and Finns supporting their country's entry into the alliance, seen as the only element capable of preventing aggression from Putin's Russia. With Finland's and now Sweden's entry, one of Stalin's and Soviet leaders' biggest nightmares has come true. A Baltic Sea surrounded by NATO member countries, leaving Russia with only Kaliningrad and St. Petersburg in the Gulf of Finland. With this new configuration, the alliance is now able to monitor with much greater precision and attention all movements of Russian naval, submarine, and military aircraft through the region, further limiting the freedom of movement of the Russian Navy and Air Force in a strategically very important region for Moscow. Technologically, the impact will also be significant, with Sweden being recognized as a nation very advanced in terms of military technologies. Swedish Saab is a giant in the defense industry, developing practically everything, with a focus on fighter aircraft like the JAS 39 Gripen, whose E and F versions were acquired by Brazil. Known as the F-39 Gripen in the Brazilian Air Force, they are some of the most advanced light fighters of the 4++ generation, perfect for countries like Brazil by combining high technology with very low operating and maintenance costs. Additionally, they are very robust fighters, specifically designed to operate on improvised bases and runways with little infrastructure. The Swedes also developed a customized version of the Leopard 2A5, the Stridsvagn 122, and their own infantry combat armored vehicle, the CV-90. They excel in the area of self-propelled howitzers, with the Archer considered one of the world's howitzers with the highest rate of fire. In the area of radars and air defenses, the Swedes stand out with systems like the RBS-70, widely used by several countries in the world in the area of anti-tank missiles. The Swedes were the creators of the iconic NLAW, an anti-tank missile launcher that stood out and continues to stand out in the hands of Ukrainians against Russian armored vehicles in Ukraine. With a coastline dotted with more than 2,000 islands, the Swedes also developed their navy extensively, designing and building locally very advanced vessels like the Visby corvettes. Furthermore, they designed and built their own submarines of the Gotland class, with the Blekinge class expected to be launched at sea by 2028. With such a rugged coastline, the Swedes invested heavily in the development of fast assault boats, resulting in the impressive CB-90, heavily armored and equipped with very advanced electronic and navigation systems, capable of landing up to 21 fully armed soldiers even in very rough seas and reduced visibility. Before Sweden's entry into NATO, many of these equipments were already integrated into the alliance's defense, but now this integration process is official and will benefit all members. With this new member, the alliance strengthens itself in technological and military terms, while considerably restricting the movements and freedoms of Russia throughout the Baltic Sea. And that's it for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell. And leave your opinion in the comments about Sweden's entry into NATO and what that represents for Europe's security. Until next time.